Hello and welcome back. It is time for more Final Fantasy X. Last we left off, we made it through Mount Gagazet. We fought a really dumb fight with Seymour. And Yuna still isn't sending him for some reason. I don't know why. Other than script says he can't be gone yet. It was a real dumb fight with Seymour though. Because he gets like 2 actions on his turn. And he just inflicts zombie and then uses full life to completely kill whoever got zombied. So you're like constantly on the back foot, especially because he opens with, first you get like a move or two depending on the speed of your party, and then he immediately zombies and kills a party member. And it's like, oh, okay then. And then you get to try and revive your party member and attack him a little bit, and then he tries to zombie another party member. And then you get a couple of actions. You're of course gonna have to remedy that zombie or holy water, I believe, to remove the zombie status. And then after you get a couple of moves from your party members, then he does this cross slash that does like 2,000 damage to your entire party. And it's like, bro, what? And then after that cross slash, he does another like attack. So there were several attempts where he would do the cross slash, everybody would be dead except for one person, and then he'd just stab that one person and then they die and game over. And it's like, huh? Why does he do so much damage? Like the most HP, so Wakka's got 4,000 HP, but then Auron's got 3,400, and then the next lowest is Riku with 3,100, and then you've got Titus with 2,700, Kimari 2,400, Yuna 2,200, and Lulu with 2,100. It's rough doing over 2,000 damage to every member of my party, and then also doing a stab. And that's, after he was already doing some actions before that. If you didn't fully heal up your party before he does that cross slash, you're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. But yeah. Then we beat him up. He dissipated again, and we arrived at the Zanarkand ruins. Yeah. Pretty place. And then we got to watch the opening cinematic again. They really like that opening cinematic. Because when you start up the game, it plays that opening cinematic before the title screen. Then you start a new game, and it plays that opening cinematic again. And then now here we are. We finally arrived at Zanarkand, which that opening cinematic was all about, was, us having arrived here. And it was, in the opening, it was all like, so here we are, but let me tell you about how we got here. And then it's, I guess, Titus telling us, the audience, all the stuff that happened before this point, is what the game up to this point has been. So then they show you the cinematic again! But now here we are. We still gotta find a way to save Yuna from being sacrificed to defeat Sin. We gotta beat Sin without Yuna dying. That's our goal. Alright. Riku. Then I have to swap with Waka. Kill this guy. Insane! Waka is so strong, dude. 17,000 HP. Titus not so strong. Lulu. Pretty darn strong, especially since she can double cast Faraga. Like, look at this. Boom, 8,300. And again! Costs a lot of MP though. 32 MP per cast. So, you know. Very costly. Hey, more agility, sure. More HP would be nice, and then more strength. You need it. I do wish that whatever you set your formation to be, it would be that way at the start of combat. You can switch in combat, but then it reverts back. That would be nice. If it would revert back to this baseline after each combat. So I don't have to keep changing my formation after every battle. There's a treasure chest over there. The behemoth. Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna steal your ether, and then I'm just gonna hit the bricks. Oh, it's right here. Okay. They're giving me quite a few fortune spheres lately. I'd really like some more level 3 key spheres. Riku needs them so that she can actually spend those levels of hers. Steal, flee. I don't feel like dealing with behemoths right now. Yeah, sure. Waka. Whoops. Whoops. I can try. Yeah, miss, of course. Ow. Rude. Kill him. Good job, Lulu. Now, Waka, kill this guy like you were supposed to. Oh, you know what? Now that we're out of Waterland, I could actually swap Titus's sword to Brotherhood. But camera?
Looks like the far plane.
Close enough.
Close enough. Hate these guys. crap. Of course, no. You know what? No. Like, I literally just switched to this sword, and water heals this thing. So, no, I'm not. That's bullcrap. Bro. I was just like, you know what? I think I'll switch back to the Brotherhood sword. And then immediately the game's like, oh, will you now? Oh, will you? You think you're safe? Rude. Very rude. God. Seriously? Get out of here, stupid Ahriman. Killed him just with that. Titus, cool your jets. Formation. Get Riku back up there. It's important. Only 1,800. Man. That seems ridiculous. I feel like it should be doing more. Considering it's got plus 15% strength. Plus 15% versus the plus 3% that the lightning sword had. Hey, Lou. It's time to get you going back to your main path here. Whoop. Here. Waka. It's one more S level so you can get this magic defense, and then he'll need another 1 or 2 to get up here so you can get some defense. Hey. And save.
Journeyer of the long road, name yourself.
I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the island of Besaid.
Your eyes, my dear, show me the long road you have traveled. Very good. You have journeyed well. Lady Yunalesca will surely welcome your arrival. Go to her now, and bring your guardians with you. Go.
Yes.
Yes. What's with the music? Huh? Bum ba da bum. Bum ba da bum. Bro, what? There's nothing happening.
If it might benefit the future of Spira, I will gladly give my life. It is the highest honor for which a guardian might ask. Use my life, Lady Yoken, and rid Spira of sin.
What was that?
Our predecessors.
Mm-hmm.
She said Lady Yoken, didn't she? Wait, She guarded High
camera?
Summoner Yoken?
This dome is filled with fireflies. It's like one gigantic sphere. People's thoughts remain here forever.
Uh-huh. Camera? I think the cameraman was drunk in that scene. YKT and some fallen monks. Vulnerable to healing magic and items. Zombie. Last enemy standing. It will unleash a vicious thrust kick if it's the last enemy standing. Okay. Well, it shouldn't be difficult to make sure that it's not. We literally just need Yuna to do a thing. Hang on. If I said to use Albed Potion, how much HP do these two have? Oh, 3,300. So yeah, no. I'll just Phoenix down them. Can I haste Lulu? Oh yeah, perfect. Don't even give them a turn. What? How did he... What? What is your magic defense, my guy? We did over 8,000 to the... What's it called? Wendigo. To the Wendigo. I think they call him the Wendigo or Yeti or whatever that four-armed hairy dude was. Did 8,000 to that guy with a times 1.5 Firaga. It only did like 5,600 to this guy. It's ridiculous. Have a Phoenix down. Okay, he's got thrust kick. Ah! Lulu! 500? Really? I'm surprised by that.
Yeah!
Titus did 3,800 with his water sword. More HP. These guys again. Do I maybe just pull in Yuna and summon Bahamut? Okay, let's take a look at you guys. 6,200, 3,700. It's a lot. I can have him Faraga this guy. See how much Bahamut does. Still only 5,500. Ow. Ow! Impulse. $9,600 AP. Hey, that was nice for her. Yuna gets to move forward. Yuna. It is nice, but again, we don't have any level 3 key spheres. They don't give them to us. We get 4 magic here, so it's not too bad if we have to miss out on that 3. Like, man. Really would like to get some more level 3 key spheres. Got level 1. You know what? Let me just sort this. Okay, we got level 1, level 2, and level 4. Need more level 4, but... we don't have any level 3s. That's what I'm really needing right now. What the? Mental break works well. It's got 42,300. Hey, Orin, apparently mental break works well. You think you could do that real quick? Make him fear some magic? Oh, that's not good. What's up, guys, Faraga? That's still gonna take a long time to work through this. Why has he got so much HP? Ah! Huh? What? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. At least haste Aaron. Another double cast Faraga. It's our biggest DPS right now. Well, give him an armor break too. Ow. Well, that wasn't so bad. Very good. I think we just do regular Faraga, no double cast. Maybe it.
Yeah!
That was a sick crit there, Titus. Level 3 keys here! Yes! It's about time, Riku! Hey, guess what you get? Yes! Yes! Alright, here, you know, move here because you're gonna have to anyway. Power spheres. Much strength for you, Riku. And then you can move on up here. More strength. More agility, because I guess you needed that, apparently. We're almost there. We're almost to maxing out her section, getting this bribe, and then we need another level 3 key sphere. So she can start. Well, question is, do we send her into Lulu's area, start getting a bunch of magic, so she's kind of an arcane rogue, or do we send her off to... if we send her off to Yuna's area, she could be a healer. I don't think we really need that. Sending her... we could... I don't know how to get her to another... let's take a look. She could get to Kimari's area, which would lead her to many other areas as well. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of options. I mean, she already doesn't have great strength, but of course, if we got her over to Waka, she's actually... it's a bit of a journey to get to Waka from here. But she could eventually get to Waka. Right? Through Lulu. Or, of course, we could send her back to right here, and then she could get Copycat. We send her back here, she could go level 2 Key Sphere, and then go straight up to Kimari's area here. She could get Ultima, or she could just take Kimari's path here over to Waka. Get some more strength, more HP, more physical stuff. I feel like at least the intended route is to have Riku head through Lulu's area and learn a bunch of magic. Because if she could get some more magic and more MP, of course, gonna need a lot more MP, if she's gonna be casting these big spells. If she could do that, also getting evasion. Evasion is big in Lulu's area. We could get her some of those things. She could be quite the powerhouse, because she's already insanely fast. Oftentimes getting multiple attacks before the enemy gets one. She could be insane. Especially if I eventually get Riku to double cast. That would be ridiculous. Because then she's like double casting Faraga twice per round. That's crazy. And making her more difficult to hit. I feel like that's the play. Because magic is really powerful. Alright, let's reset you guys. I'm going to need to go back to the save point. 10,000 gil. That's nice, but I need like 100,000 gil, please. Titus first? What? That's unheard of. Looks like it's these two guys that are gonna be doing things. Just gonna go ahead and Phoenix down them. I do also wonder what happens if you were to try and cure their zombie-ism? Would they just die that way as well? Like if you toss some holy water on them. Because they're not like a person that was afflicted with zombie. They are a corpse that was reanimated as a zombie. 1400. Dang, Riku's got some strength on her now. And that's why I wanted to go for that. I mean, that thing's physical defense isn't great to begin with, but still. That's pretty big for Riku. Oh boy. I mean, I have to. I gotta kill this guy. And hope that he gives me another level 3 key sphere. That would be awesome. Yeah, if I haste... No, he's not gonna get it. He could just die if this thing attacks him. So, I'll hold off on hasting Aaron for now. Oh, that's not gonna... Well...
Take a number, buddy.
Take a number, buddy! He's immune! Ah! Of course he is. Why is everything, like, constantly immune to my stuff? It's like, what's even the point, man? Every time I'm like, you know what? I want to delay this guy's turn. Immune. It's like, what's the point of the delay buster? If it's just gonna be immune to it. I mean, why is this guy immune to delay buster, huh? What makes him so special? And why is he so fast? It's not enough, man. Yeah, look, Wu is almost out of MP already, man. Just a couple fights. Dude. I hate this thing. It's so annoying.
See ya!
See ya! But we get a level 3 key sphere, so that's nice. Now, how about we have Yuna do some cures here? Actually, That's the problem. First off, we're gonna mug him. Lunar curtains. Cheer. Auto. I'm only gonna get one Farago off. Or maybe I do 2 Fyras instead. I don't know which would be more damage. Let's try 2 Fyras. I think 2 Fyras... It might actually just be comparable. Ow. But at least she gets to cast another Fyra. But she is almost out of MP. Bro! It's so stupid. He's just all like, yeah, Haymaker, 4,000 damage. It's like, bro, come on. I don't even... Well, she did 4,400. I don't have anybody that could withstand one of those hits. Why do enemies suddenly do so much damage? Okay. Let me see how much Farago they do. That's more. Ow! From a blast punch? And then a Haymaker. Dude, why? Why does Haymaker do so much damage? It's really making me work for my level 3 key seers. Summon Shiva. Only as far as Blizzara, huh? I don't think it'll actually delay his attack, though, because it's immune to that, but 3,000 damage. Certainly not nothing, and he missed. Nice. Why did it only do 1,500 that time? What? Did it crit the first time? No. How? Ow. I don't get it. At least he's dead. Maybe it did crit that first time. And the third time. A level 2 key! I need level 3s, man. Level 3s! Titus. It's not really gonna get you anything yet, but it's fine. No, I'm one step away from the exit. Phoenix down. And another one. Move up. Smack. Yeah. Smack him.
See ya!
See ya! Bum ba bum. Bum ba bum. Almost there. Yeah, we got. I think, yeah, just one level 3 key sphere right now. I think we should try to get another level 3 key sphere or two while we're here. I think that would be a good idea. Since we found something that drops them. Lulu needs them. Or sorry, Riku needs one. Yuna could use one to get some more magic. Be nice. Not strictly necessary, but would be very nice. Fire jump. Okay, alright. I think we smack this guy, and then I think... Steal. Ow. Ow, stop it! What do you got against Riku, man? It's ridiculous. Raga this guy, and then just a regular fire should kill this guy. Get them out of here. Dude, what do you got against Riku?
See ya!
Stop it! Just stop. And she's not gonna get any AP now, is she? No, because she went down. Ah! I hate you. Also, Lulu get S level. Back to here. Use. I probably should have done that before. But that's the path she'll be going down. More agility, more magic. Magic defense, more magic. Eventually culminating in flare. After that, she could head towards Wakka's area, get drain. There's some magic in there, that's good. Evasion. Yeah, I don't... Obviously, it seems like you're supposed to push her into Wakka's area. Just not sure how useful that would be. is level 3, level 3, level 3, level 4 in order to get to Nab Gill. That seems like a path that's meant for Riku to go in here and just quickly sneak over and grab that. Which means I'm gonna need another 3 level 3 keys here. See? We need them. Not you guys. Kill you. Kill you. Smack. And smack.
Yeah!
Yeah! 8,500 crit. Insane. Well, that S level will get Titus 4 more strength, so let's do that. Phoenix down. We're often getting Phoenix downs as drops from these guys, so might as well use them. Whoops. Lulu's turn, what? Well, she did something. She'll get a little bit of AP for that, at least. 5,300. Yeah, see, we got both of our Phoenix downs back. Hate these guys. So we could use another fire gem. Okay, Titus. Ow! Yeah, it makes sense that you would not like him. I'm gonna mug you, though. Kill that guy. Don't let him have a turn. Yeah! Yeah, Titus is getting strong now. Finally. Catching up to Waka. Took him long enough. Suppose the other option for Lulu is once she gets here to just pop back down to here and go through Riku's area. Mainly just to get more evasion or agility, a lot more agility. She'll get some strength and some accuracy as she goes along, but mainly lots of agility. Quite a bit of health too. MP wise, I don't think she'd get much. She'd get some. I mean, Riku's at 205 after going through her entire spheres. It's not nothing. Actually, who? Yeah, it seems like Yuna's the only other one that's got high MP from her spheres. But even still, Lu's got the most by far, which is good. She needs it. That's something she really needs. Feed the flames of her DPS engine. Hey, what do you guys get? 3,300 HP each. They're all zombies. I'm thinking killing them for 1,000 each. Titus should be able to kill him, yeah. Ow! That hurt a lot. Hey, that was rude. Let's see how much Faraga does. 4,000, okay. Ow! That was very rude. What did you do to Riku? What did you afflict her with? Screw you. Did you give her zombie? Those guys are rude. I might start just fleeing from anything that's not the guy I'm looking for. Try and speed this up. The S levels are nice, but we need those level 3 key spheres. I need like 4 that I know of. Hey, there he is. Aaron. I keep forgetting skill. Mental break. Titus. If I haste, he's still not gonna get a turn before the enemy. Which means he's probably gonna get knocked out. I could cheer to hope that he doesn't get knocked out. It's still my turn. Ugh. Firaga. Why do I even bother, you know? Even if I haste him, I'll do it anyway, and hope and pray. No, it's Haymaker. Dude, what? How can you just Haymaker, Haymaker? Back to back. Just 4,000 damage in a move that never misses. So stupid. Don't die this time, please. Hey. Of course, this guy's about to die anyway, so... Whatever. Hey, at least Aaron got SP. Level 2 keys for... That's not what I'm looking for. Bro. Hey, Aaron, look. You get more HP. And more strength pretty soon. Head back towards the save point because we're gonna need to replenish our MP. I don't know, mug him. Nice. And yeah, double cast. Faraga on one, Faraga on the other. Kill them both. Super easy. Free AP. Wait, y'all are still alive? What? After a Faraga each?
Yeah!
Victor. Overdrive mode. Save point. Recover MP. Still not allowed to play Blitzball anymore. Oh, what was the point of the Blitzball minigame if they're just gonna take it away? Like, it wasn't there for very long. I'm just gonna steal and hit the bricks, I think. The holy water's nice. Candle of Life. What? It is really nice to just steal, flee, steal, flee, steal, flee. Yeah, holy water. Love that. Don't get any money or AP, of course, but That's fine. We're looking for this guy. Let me see what I can steal from this guy. Lunar curtains, okay. Yeah, I think I did that before. Reflex. Get Aaron in here. Mental break is huge. The music here, though, is very repetitive. Aaron, why you gotta be so slow? He survived. Faraga, Faraga. Armor break. Woo! Ow. I think he's dead here. Yeah. Woo. Oh, come on. Defense. Magic. Very nice. More HP for Riku. Very soon. Bribe. Is that just like a give an opponent money and they leave the fight? Is that what that is? I keep getting so many Phoenix Downs. Might as well use it. I'm taking your holy water, and I'm leaving. Well, I suppose, well, we look for these guys. Try to get some level 3 key spheres. I want at least one more. I'm gonna take a look at Lulu's or Riku's, well, Lulu's section for that. Like, how far away is that one that needs 3 level 3 key spheres? Haste on and hope that he survives. I need... Ow! Aaron survived. While we're doing this grind, I guess I can talk about my planning for the upcoming Old School RuneScape League. I've been plotting. Let's see how much fire it is. I've been plotting because there's a lot to consider. Enough! So I wanted to capture. Figured we should capture at least one. Yes! Level 3 key sphere! Let me just take a quick look here. So, Riku could go straight up. No, we don't want her to go straight up there. I mean, we do want her to go up a little bit, get some evasion MP. But then come back down. We could give her some more defense and HP as well. And then Riku's gonna come up here, grab the auras, loop around over here. AC, HP, defense. Come through here, and then right around here. 1, 2, 3. At a level 4. It's to get Nab Gil. Nab Gil. I assume that's steel, but you can steal Gil. This is Nab Gil. That is potentially used. We do need 300,000 to give to in order to give 300,000 gil to Yojimbo if we still want him. But I also need level 3 keys or level 4 key spheres specifically for Ultima. I need 3. Lulu will need a level 3 in order to get out of here. Assuming we're sending her towards Waka, which actually... I might not. I could send her kind of through Waka to Kimari and have her get Ultima? I could also send her into Riku's area. so that she can get... I guess she would get MP. She would get HP. And then, right. I was thinking of sending her into Riku because of all of the agility. Make her faster. Faster. And then Lulu, Riku, powerhouse of just lots of HP, lots of MP, super fast, slinging spells left and right. They would become quite the powerful duo. Yeah, so I don't actually need that level 3 for Lulu. I would like, kind of like Yuna, to use this level 3 to get here. And then, of course... Yeah. Just give you this. I would kind of like, for Riku, obviously Riku's going to need a level 3 here, so that's 2 level 3s, which I currently have, but then I'm going to need 3 more to get to Nabgil. Yeah. Oops. I think I should grind out at least 1 or 2 more. We'll see how long it takes, though. Hey, it might not take very long, actually. Hopefully, Arm survives. $6,600 now. 7,000. Dude, that plus 4 magic was huge. Arm survived. Armor break. Smack. Faraga. Yeah, so... Talking about... I'm gonna swap Arm for Kimari and have him try a quick lance it, see if we get anything from these guys. Nope, that's fine. At least we know. Poor Titus. Titus, get back up. You need the AP as well. You know? Ooh, that was a crit, Kimari. Oh, wait, no! Dang it, Lulu. Titus again. That's fine. I guess I saved some MP for Lulu. Auron and Kimari, both S level 2. At least we'll have plenty of level 2s. I know they can be used for customization as well, so... At least there's that. MP for Kimari, I guess. We should heal. How much MP Lulu got left? 208. That's enough for one more. But yeah, so Old School RuneScape Leagues, which is starting next Wednesday. We're getting real close to that. I have been plotting and calculating a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm kind of locked in to selecting my 3 areas and most of the relics. So I'm thinking for areas, obviously you start out in Varlamar, and your first area unlock that's part kind of tutorialized is gonna be Karamja. You have to pick it. But after that, we get to pick 3 more areas. And for me, I'm thinking Asgarnia, Fremennik, and Kandarin. That's what I'm thinking. I think it'll be pretty good. We won't have any raids, which is true, but that also means we won't have to worry about all the ridiculous tasks that go along with raids. It'll be a bit more chill in that respect. Bit more chill. Now, with Asgarnia, we'll of course have Echo Cerberus, who has that Fang of the Hound special drop. And then we'll also have Fremennik would be V's, well, the Echo Dagonoth Kings. And they would drop V's helm as their special item. A little sad that that's all they drop. I mean, it is a really good all-around helmet. Yeah. It's not like insanely overpowered or anything, but it is pretty good all around. Doesn't matter what style you're using, really. It's a good helmet. So it's not necessarily a must-have. There are other things in Fremennik that I feel like would be good. Good enough to choose Fremennik as one of our areas. Because we'll have access to Phantom Muspa, we'll have access to, oh boy. Ooh, doesn't have much MP left. Gonna have to summon Bahamut, I think. That is paste. Pray that Arn survives. Arn's actually almost out of MP as well. We can get 1 double Faraga. Oof, that's not much. And Arn's down. Great. Lulu's got 1 Fyra. in her pocket, and that's it. If Orin can survive this one turn, nope, he can't. He's just not tanky, like, at all. Eh. Why? Yuna, you're gonna have to summon Bahamut. Alright, back to talking. So, Kandarin will also have the Echo Thermonuclear Smoke Devil, aka Echo Thermi. And his special drops are Devil's Element and Shadow Flame Quadrant, which are insanely powerful magic weapon and offhand. That's also the only Echo boss that drops 2 items in this league. Every other Echo boss drops 1. I've been looking at the Demonic Pacts trees and crunching numbers in the DPS calculator. Crunching a lot of numbers. And I'm kind of torn between 2 builds. Leaning towards one, but still kind of torn. Because there's one build that upon seeing the capstone, I was like, oh, that's the way. This is the way. And then, as I'm going through the DPS calculator, I'm like, is it the way? It is still very powerful, but also this other path is pretty powerful too. So I'm kind of torn here. Just gotta pop out here. Replenish. So the first build that I saw the capstone and I was like, oh, this sounds insane. Is crossbow build, right? Crossbow capstones are crossbow hits always max hit, and crossbows attacks roll accuracy twice, which means you are much less likely to miss because you're essentially rolling with advantage in order to hit anything when you're using a crossbow. It's also got. Okay, Aaron. It's also, because of the ranged tree, has access to the ranged echo hits, the chance to spawn a ranged echo, which is pretty powerful. You start out with a plus 25% chance, and then right after that, as long as you have a crossbow equipped, you have a plus 15% chance to trigger ranged echoes. Right? So you're bumping it up to 40% almost immediately. Now, that's only the only trigger whenever you regenerate ammo. Okay, when you regenerate ammo, you have that 40% chance to trigger a ranged echo. And you start out with a 50% chance to regenerate runes, ammo, and charges. So there's a 50% chance to regenerate. When you do regenerate, there's then a 40% chance to fire off a ranged echo. And then what the ranged echo is an additional ranged attack which rolls with your ranged accuracy against the target's ranged defense. Echo attacks cannot trigger additional echo attacks, at least to start. Because you see, a little bit later down the tree, you do get the ability to have your echoes trigger echoes, and so on. At a reduced chance, but still, the build that I've laid out for crossbow would end up with a 110% chance to regenerate, which means every time you fire off a crossbow bolt, you will regenerate one bolt. Then there's a 10% chance to regenerate a second bolt, which is nice, especially since if it does regenerate that second bolt, that's another roll on the chance to summon a ranged echo. By the end of this tree, I would also have... Let me see. Yeah, a 50% chance to fire a ranged echo. A 50% chance. Plus, I'd have the pact that says ranged echoes can now trigger additional ranged echoes at half your chance to trigger them. So your first chance is a 50%, and then if that succeeds, there's a 25% chance that ranged echo will cause another ranged echo, and then there's a 25% chance that second ranged echo will fire off a third ranged echo, and then there's a 25% chance that third ranged echo will fire off a fourth ranged echo. It's a very, very, very small chance that goes through, but it is possible. And one thing I don't know is if the ranged echoes will always max hit, because I don't think they count as a crossbow hit. It is a ranged attack, but I don't think they count as a crossbow hit. So I don't think they'll benefit from my crossbow hits always max hit. But still, I have a pretty good chance that they'll fire off regardless. They do still have to roll accuracy and actually hit the target to do anything. But, you know. There's also a pact for ranged prayers are 30% more effective, which is huge. Look at that, level 3 key sphere, yay. But that is huge. 30% more effective. And ranged is the only tree that has that kind of a pact in it that increases the effectiveness of prayers as well, so that's kind of another reason to go ranged. Now, also in this build, I would end up with plus 100% accuracy in all combat styles, plus 15 permanent defense level boost, potentially a little bit more. I've got my build set up with 36 out of 40 pact points, just in case, because who knows, maybe some of the pact points I'll be like, this is way too difficult, I can't even get to it. And also, of course, I'm not going to have all the pact points in order, like, my build's going to be less effective the fewer pact points it has, the fewer of those challenges I can complete, right? And I'll have fewer pact points trying to complete those more difficult challenges. So that's why I got it at 36. Like, obviously I could then take that further, get more accuracy, or I could get more defense levels, or more range damage percentage. You know, slight boosts here and there. I figured those last few pact points should be the ones that are like, I'll just get a little bit of a boost, a little bit more of a boost, a little bit, you know, just push it just a little bit more, rather than things that the build is reliant on, right? It's the candle of life, and we flee from the battle. So, also with this crossbow build, it's not just a crossbow build, it's a crossbow thorns build. And this means that as long as I have a shield equipped, I'll be doing damage to my opponents whenever they attack me. It'll just trigger an attack, a melee attack at them, right? Which gets pretty huge. It starts out with whenever you're attacked, you deal 3 melee damage to the person or the enemy that attacked you. Just straight up. Every time they attack you, no matter whether they deal damage or hit a 0, it still hits them for 3. Regardless of anything else. There's also while I have a shield equipped, I have a 0.1% chance per defense level to reflect all damage back to the attacker. It's a very small chance. It's a very small chance. I do have in here that plus 15 permanent defense level boost. And assuming I get to level 99 defense, which shouldn't be... that's not that insane for, you know, leagues where you're getting insane XP rates. At 99 defense, plus that 15 permanent defense level boost, you're talking about 114, which is 11.4% chance. Wait, no, sorry, not 100. Yeah, no, 114. That was correct. I was correct the first time. So 114 defense level effective, and that means that I would have an 11.4% chance to reflect all damage from an attack back at the attacker. Again, very small chance, but when it does proc, that's huge. Or it can be huge. Like, for instance, if... Like, it could save your life in the Inferno. It really could. It could completely save your life and turn things... Oh, did I accidentally haste Titus instead of... Well, Arn's dead anyway. So... Arn, get back up here. Now let me haste him. There we go. Faraga. So yeah, like, if you end up getting hit by Zuck, that could potentially save your life by reflecting it back at Zuck and doing a lot of damage to him. Just kind of palming his fireball right back at him, which would be a pretty sick moment. But again, very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. It's just a nice little extra bit of safety potential. Are you kidding me, dude? Would you leave Lulu alone? How did you hit Lulu? Lulu, get back up. It looks so ridiculous when someone's hasted.
See ya!
But moving on up the little thorns tree section, we've also got... And we just heal. How much? Okay, Lulu's got plenty for another round or two. So, moving on up the Thorns tree, we also get all recoil and Thorn style effects deal additional damage equal to 1% of your total defense bonuses. So, that means the more defense you have, which comes from your armor, the more bonuses to your defense from your armor, the more damage your thorns and recoil effects are going to do. That means recoil ring, rings of recoil, ring of suffering, which is like combining a bunch of recoils into one, giving you more uses. And the Echo Boots. The Echo Boots would also count for this as well. They'll be getting damage boosts from this. And since Kandarin is in our area list, the list of areas that we're going to be unlocking, we'll have access to the Zenite jewelry. And that means Ring of Suffering, which is sick. So, let's say you have 400 total defense bonuses, which is not too difficult to get with ranged armor, getting 400-ish defense bonuses total. That means that your thorns and recoils are going to do 4 extra damage. So your thorns, 3 damage, plus 4. Now you're talking about 7 recoil damage. Every time an enemy hits you, they take 7 for free. You don't even have to do anything. It just does that. Plus, if you've got that Ring of Suffering on, and they do at least 1 damage, then they are going to take that 1 damage from the recoil plus the 4 from this pact. So that's 5 damage from that, on top of the 7 damage from your thorns. And it's just that passive little punches at your enemies. Then the capstone for thorns is when the thorns effect triggers, it will always hit twice, dealing 50% of its damage in the second hit. So the second hit is only going to do 50% of the hit of the first hit. The damage of the first hit. But that's still a little bit more. So you take that 7, and then you add another... Depending on how it rounds, it'll either be another 3 or another 4, right? Now, this capstone only affects the thorns, not the recoil, sadly, but that's still... If it rounds down, let's just assume that it rounds down, so at worst, you're talking about your thorns dealing 10 damage, dealing 7 and then 3. And then, if your opponent did not hit a 0, like that's even if they hit a 0, they're taking 10 damage in 2 hit splits, 7 and a 3. Then, if they hit at least a 1 damage against you, 1 to 50 or whatever, they take 1 and then also an additional 4 for 5 damage. Because of that Pact, right? So that's now 15 damage that they take because they hit you, right? And that's on top of the fact that you're already like attacking them with your superpowered crossbow that always max hits, doing like 30, 40, 60 damage in a hit. Plus, you might even get a ranged echo go off, and that does even more. So this build is pretty good. Pretty good. It also, on top of all of that, in order to get some more accuracy, I dipped a little into the, a little more into the melee tree. Since we were already going for thorns, which is in the melee tree, I branched off over to melee weapons under 1 kilogram always trigger an additional melee hit. And that hit uses 40% of your base max hit, minimum of 1 damage. Minimum of 1, which means that your melee attack, you'll trigger a melee attack. Whatever your main damage does is one thing, but then it triggers a second hit that does a minimum of 1 damage. That's nice. Again, we're not going to be using melee much. We'll probably have to use melee for Succulus, the Duke, because he's got such high ranged and magic defenses. It's just not really worth using. Even with our souped up crossbow, it's still probably not going to be viable against the Duke. So we get that little bit of bonus when we're fighting Duke, because we do have to beat the awakened Duke Succulus once, at least. You have to beat him at least once in order to just get another demonic pact point. And then I also dipped a little into magic, just 2 to 3 points. So we'll get, whenever your combat spells regenerate runes, your magic level is boosted by 1 for 30 ticks, which is 18 seconds. This boost cannot exceed 10 magic levels, and additional triggers reset the duration. That's, it's neither here nor there. The main thing is getting the one right after that, which is whenever your combat spells regenerate water runes, you're healed for 1 per rune regenerated. Keep in mind again, we are getting a 100% chance to regenerate. 110% chance, which means there's a 10% chance that we'll regenerate twice instead of once. But we're always going to regenerate once, no matter what. So if you cast Water Surge, which costs 10 water runes, you are healing 10 HP every time you cast it. It doesn't matter if it does damage. Every time you cast it, you get 10 HP. So that's basically just a heal spell. A 10 HP heal spell now. Which is insane. And then, if we can get to the 36 point, then that 36 point will probably be to go into this other one in Magic that says, whenever your combat spells regenerate air runes, you have a 15% chance to restore 1 prayer point per rune regenerated. So what that does is it gives us the potential to recover prayer from that same cast. So we're going to get a guaranteed 10 HP from a Water Surge, right? But then Water Surge also costs It also costs, I think, 7 air runes. So there's a 15% chance that I'll restore 7 prayer whenever I cast that spell as well. Again, doesn't matter if it hits, doesn't matter if it deals damage. The fact that I cast it means, the fact that I cast it, which is, it is a combat spell, means that I regenerate runes, the runes to cast it, which means I get the guaranteed 10 health and a chance to restore some prayer. Also, 2 magic, very nice. More powerful every day. So, that's the ranged build. And it seems to be pretty powerful. Looking at the DPS calculator, even with a rune crossbow, like even if I don't end up getting the Armadillo crossbow or the Zarite crossbow after that, even just a rune crossbow with diamond, like adamant diamond bolts E, even just that is really powerful. You're looking at a max hit of 61. 61. Every time I attack, 61 damage. Oh, I think that's one thing I forgot to mention about the ranged build. Along that path, the crossbow path, in order to get to the capstones, you pick up a pact that says crossbow attacks, or crossbows attack 2 ticks slower. That's 1.2 seconds slower. But they deal plus 70% damage. That is a huge damage boost. And it, you know, according to the math that I've run, it is a net DPS increase, like by quite a bit. So even though you're attacking slower, that extra 70% outweighs how much slower you're attacking. Because, like, obviously, attacking faster is generally going to help you do more damage because you're getting more attacks, more chances to deal damage, more procs of damage. But that plus 70% really makes up for the loss of time. Because that does mean that a rune crossbow on rapid style is going to be a 7-tick attack. That is 4.2 seconds is how long it takes between attacks. So it is pretty darn slow, especially come on, stop it. Would you stop it with your stupid super smack doing 4,000 damage? Just one-shotting any one of my party members. Haymaker, gosh, stop it! And on the worst timings too. It's like, dude, Lulu could kill him, but then Titus wouldn't get any AP. It's so annoying. Just die already. So yeah, and we only get a level 2 key sphere out of that, huh? Ridiculous. Alright, so I'll put Riku, heal up. So yeah. Rune crossbow. Adamant Diamond Bolt Z. Hitting 61 every time they hit. And for the most part, like even, let's see. If you look at the regular Cerberus, you've got an accuracy of 97.72%. Average time to kill 30.4 seconds. Yeah. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. The max hit on it, which is, by the way, taking into it, that's including all of the echo hits. Like if you get every single echo hit, which is like a 0.01% chance, max hit says 314. It's crazy. And this, the DPS calculator can't really calculate out the thorns or the recoils, because how do you calculate DPS of that? Really, that's a lot of number crunching. Too much for this little DPS calculator that the OSRS wiki has. But even still. So that's not taking into account any recoil or thorns going on. Now, in contrast, the mage build. The mage build that I've sorted out as my other option can get very powerful. The trouble is, it's kind of reliant on getting the two weapons from Thermi, the Shadow Flame Quadrant and the Devil's Element. With those two, it becomes a powerhouse as well. But without them, it's not as powerful as the ranged build. So the ranged build does seem like a good option, like a really good option, in that it doesn't require those
So be it.
2 rare drops from an Echo Boss in order to get good. Or in order to get really good. However, there's a bit of a trade-off there. While the mage build that I've got set up here doesn't have as much DPS output, it does have more survivability, more sustainability. So let's go over the magic build that I've plotted out. So the magic build is going to almost entirely be in the magic section of the pact tree. It's going to dip in a little into melee, just like with the ranged build, except it's only going to do that melee weapons under a kilogram always trigger an additional melee hit. And then the main reason for dipping in here is to get an extra 50% accuracy in all combat styles. Because you're going to need the accuracy so that you can actually hit. You won't get that special boost to your prayer's effectiveness. You won't get the your attacks roll accuracy twice that my crossbow build has. So you need that extra accuracy in all combat styles to kind of compensate for that a bit. The other similarity to my crossbow build is that it's going to dip down to the lower right corner to get demonic packs overheal you for up to 30% of your base mix, your base hit points level, and the plus 30% chance to regenerate runes, ammo, and charges, because you want to regenerate runes all the time. Every time you cast. That's how the mage build works. But in the mage tree section, you're gonna be going pretty hard into water, air as another option, and then some into earth, though we don't necessarily need to go really into earth. We're mainly going past earth to get to another one of those demonic packs overheal you for up to 30%, because this way you'll end up with all three of them, making it so that your demonic packs can overheal you up to 90% of your max health. That... Come on. Stop it with the haymakers. I hate that stupid attack. It's bullcrap. Kill.
Farewell.
Farewell. He can't be captured. Wait, no. What did it say? Something about can't be captured, but he just... It looked like he got captured, but maybe he couldn't actually be captured. Anyways. Yeah, Lulu's got enough for another round. So what that means is that your max health, if you overheal to the maximum using this build, is 188. Normally your maximum is like 99, but you can overheal all the way up to 188, which is insane HP. Now, another thing about that, the reason why we're trying to boost that as much as possible, is because in this mage build lies the pact that says water spells deal increased damage the higher health percentage you have. At 100% HP, you would get plus 20% damage, which is pretty huge. And you might be thinking, oh, well, it says 20% at 100%, so maybe it doesn't count overhealed HP. It does. It was confirmed by one of the JMods that it does take into account overheal, because that is a percentage that is higher than 100%, right? You're talking about 190% HP is higher percentage of HP, right? So it does continue to scale up with that, which means you want to be at full health all the time, and you're pretty likely to be at full health all the time, because you're going to be healing every time you cast a water spell. In fact, with the water capstone, water spell hits bounce back to you, healing you for 60% of the damage dealt to your target. That's on top of the fact that you're already healing every time you regenerate water runes. So if you're casting Water Surge, you are healing 10 HP plus 60% of the damage that you dealt. So every time you're dealing damage, you're healing even more, on top of the standard heal. This build also makes it so that ice spells count as water spells, Now, while ice spells, as I recall, they don't use water runes, so they won't get that healing from regenerating water runes. You will still get the healing from the 60% of damage dealt to your target, and it allows you to have some AoE with that if you need it. You'll also be getting attack rate with combat spells in a spellbook is sped up by 2 ticks, so 1.2 seconds faster. There's also the attack rate with powered staves is sped up by 3 ticks. All one-handed power staves have their max hit reduced by 8, sadly. That's to try and make it a bit more fair, I guess. We got lucky. I didn't swap my formation, but it looks like Arn's gonna get 2 turns, which is nice. Not before Lulu, sadly, so we're just gonna do a little nothing attack. We don't want to waste our MP, which actually we are almost out of MP. Oh boy. Problem. Arn can't even power break. Or armor break. You can power break though. They can...
You will hurt no one.
You will hurt no one. We need to recover. We can Faraga once, we cannot Faraga twice, but we could fire it for the second to at least deal a decent amount of damage. Those booster magic are doing numbers. Ow. And it doesn't do near enough. Yuna, summon time! Summon Bahamut! Back to what I was saying. Your powered stats are going to be sped up, your combat spells are going to be sped up. I think, as I recall, I think Shadow Flame Quadrant is considered a powered staff? Maybe? I can't recall. It might not be. One thing about Shadow Flame Quadrant, though, is that it does attack twice, which is huge for, like, each time you attack, it's doing 2 attacks. It's casting the spell twice. What I don't know is if that uses runes for the second cast. If it does, that means you'd be regenerating more often. Like, you'd be regenerating 20 instead of 10 each cast. Could be really even better than it might seem. Oh, Bahamut died? Dang. That's crazy. Did he just, like, haymaker? Because that's so dumb. I hate this guy. Unit swap. Swap for Waka? Waka's a powerhouse. Even though we won't be doing a whole lot because he's insanely tanky and we can't break his defenses. We can't armor break. No MP. This is rough. Maybe I should have Yuna summon Shiva. Maybe that would be better. Yeah, so back to the build stuff.
Be strong.
Another thing about the mage build is that it goes into the air section, just because if there's enemies that are weak to air spells, it might be worth it to get that extra DPS, and then occasionally use water spells for healing. Dude, the stupid haymakers, I hate them. But in the air tree, you get air spells deal plus 7% damage for each active prayer. So if you're activating a bunch of prayers, you're going to do a bunch more damage. And then air spells have a plus 1% chance to max hit for every one prayer bonus. This chance is doubled against enemies weak to air spells, which means even more DPS, especially if your opponent is weak to air. So if you've got a bunch of prayer bonus, you're going to get a chance to max hit, which is going to double when they're weak to air. God, the level 2 key sphere as well, like, bruh. Spot people around, get ready. So that, and then just because, which, you know, we could like not use those points if we didn't want to, or like put them somewhere else, but I put a couple points to get a little bit more, like 2% more magic damage, and earth spell hits reduce the enemy's defense and magic defense levels by 2. So that allows you to cast some earth spells to lower their defenses and then switch back to your normal water and air spells, right? So this magic build sounds pretty fun, and you're gonna be healing all the time. You're gonna be over healing up to 188 HP. But I'm just been looking at the DPS calculator, and until you get the Shadow Flame Quadrant and the Devil's Element, your DPS isn't looking very good. Like, the crossbow build still out DPSs it up until you get those two, and then it starts to out DPS the crossbow build. Unless there's something that's like really resistant to magic but weak to ranged or something like that. But on the flip side of that, if there's something that's resistant to ranged but weak to magic, obviously the magic build wins out. So again, I'm really torn. On the plus side, with this league, you do get 3 chances to completely re-roll, like completely redo your entire packed tree. Right? And you get those from beating echo bosses. So if you beat 3 echo bosses, 3 different echo bosses specifically, then you get your 3 chances. So each time you beat an echo boss, for the first 3, you get a chance to re-roll, or you're like a token, effectively, to re-roll your packs. Reset them, and re-spend those points. Which means, if I end up going, crossbow is high damage, but it's just so slow, and I'd rather switch to magic, or it's really high damage but I just can't survive long enough in this content or that content, then maybe I'll re-roll to magic. because, like, I think I'll at least start with my crossbow thorns build. Because, like I said, magic only really gets good with the Shadow Flame Quadrant Devil's Element, as far as, like, damage goes. The damage, the DPS output is just not very good until you get those two items, which are both drops from Echo Thermi, who is gonna be a bit tough, I think. It's gonna be a bit tough. Just looking at regular Thermi on the DPS calculator, it's very, very annoying to fight him. Like, with the full crossbow build, you've got a 12.81% accuracy. Right? 12.81% accuracy. It's not good. You're looking at a DPS of 4. You're not hitting very often. Now, however, with the using the crossbow build as far as packs go, but then equipping full, like, magic equipment and trying to fight him that way, you're looking at a 90% accuracy, but the DPS is still also like 4.5. It's basically the same DPS. However, I do currently have it set with, because part of my crossbow build is to dip into magic that little bit to get the water combat spells. They heal you when you regenerate those water runes, which means water surge, if I cast that, I'll be getting health back, so that's survivability there. You know? So it's possible that I could still fight Thermi using magic. I'd be getting roughly the same DPS as with my crossbow, except I'd be hitting more often, not doing as much damage every time I hit, but hitting more often and be healing when I'm hitting or when I'm casting. So it's still certainly doable to fight Thermi to try and get those two special drops from Echo Thermi, the Shadow Flame Quadrant and the Devil's Element. And then at that point, if I get both of those and I decide, you know what, I've had enough with the crossbow build, it's time for mage build, then I've already, you know, I'm basically already ready to set up. I can just respec my skill tree. Because the areas that I'm picking are gonna be good for both ranged and magic. Right? Because, again, I'm going to be picking the areas Asgarnia, Kandarin, and Fremennik. So, Asgarnia is going to, for range, it's going to get me access to the God Wars dungeon to get that Armadil crossbow, the Armadil armor, potentially, if I want to go for that. But also, beating Nex, I'll be able to get the Zarite crossbow, which is like a really powerful crossbow, right? As far as magic goes for Asgarnia, there's not a whole lot. I actually wanted to check Asgarnia. I think Asgarnia actually covers... Let me see. It might not cover... Sorry, I'll finish my sentence. Okay, it does. It does. It covers Void Knights. So I'm pretty sure it goes all the way down through Port Sarim, which means Port Sarim is a part of Asgarnia, not Misthalin, so it's still available. So the Void Knight equipment is okay for magic and ranged. I would not be able to get Elite Void. Sadly, that would be the main detriment there, because I wouldn't have access to Taranwyn, right? Means that I cannot beat up the Money Snake for that achievement. What else for Asgarnia? As far as gear goes, I would, of course, because of Cerberus, be able to get the Eternal Boots. Potentially Primordial and Pegasian Boots as well. Staff of the Dead is a option. And then through the Whisperer, Virtus robes are an option from that as well. Oh yeah, and then the Titans, the Titan boss. They've got their like twin flame staff. That's another thing. So you get a bit of magic stuff, you get a bit of range stuff in that area, especially the crossbow. That's going to be the best crossbow that I could get, is the Zerosian or the Zerite crossbow. Plus the Zerite Vam braces as well. Very good Vam braces for my ranged build. And then moving from there, you got Fremennik. Of course, obviously you're going to get the rings. You're going to have the... not just the Seer's ring, but also the Mage's ring from the Duke. And then you're also... then you're also going to get the Archer's ring. Sadly won't get the... is it called Venator ring? The upgraded Archer's ring? Because that's desert. You won't be getting that. But it's fine. I'm just gonna Fyra, save my NP. And of course, you know, Echo Dagonoth Kings gets you V's Helm, which is good for all styles. So it's a nice little all-around region. How many level 3 key spheres are we at now? Only 2. Need 1 more. Let's get some evasion. Let's get some more attack for R in here. But also some agility. He needs it. He's so slow. And Lulu gets some HP. That's nice. Reform up. Alright, and then Kandrin. Right? Kandrin is really good for magic, but it's also really good specifically for my crossbow thorns build, because part of that build is the thorns part, which would benefit from a Ring of Suffering. It would benefit quite a bit from that, which requires Zenites, which requires Kandrin. So, obviously, Kandrin's going to be huge for both of them, because you can get the occult necklace, you can get the, what is it, the bracelet of torture or whatever. Let me take a look. I think I've got it in my tormented bracelet. The tormented bracelet, the Ring of Suffering. You've also got the necklace of anguish, right? That's another Zenite jewelry thing. That one's for ranged. So you got some good stuff. Got some good stuff there in Kandrin. And then to top it all off for magic, I mean, not only do you get the trident from the Kraken, that's a good, like, mid-game magic weapon. You could also get the tentacle from the Kraken to form up the tentacle whip. You get a really nice melee weapon there. Plus, let me just take another look over here. Yeah. So you get all that. Plus Kandrin, Fremenic, Asgarnia, their pact tasks are all pretty reasonable. There's nothing crazy. I was looking at where was it? Karend, the Karend ones. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So Karend, you get 7 tasks per region that get you pact points, right? Karend has open 1 grubby chest. That's fine. It's easy. 150 lizardman shaman kills. That's not too bad. It's, you know, lizardman shamans, 150. Okay. 1 Skotizo kill. That's not too bad. But then 25 Chambers of Zarek. Okay, I'm gonna have to do Chambers of Zarek 25 times. Well, if that's my raid for my regions, I'm gonna have to do it a bunch anyway if I want the mega rare. Equip a Dragon Hunter Lance. Okay, that's a pretty rare drop from the Chambers. Equip any Ancestral Piece. That's also a pretty rare drop from Chambers. It's gonna be a bit rough getting those. And then equip a piece of Radiant Oath Plate. Radiant Oath Plate, which means you're gonna have to fight Yama a bunch. And some of the relics that you get in this league, some of these relics, particularly combat related ones, the tier 8, they're like, oh yeah, it does all this cool stuff, but it doesn't do anything against Yama, by the way. It's like, okay, so you're not gonna get that bonus when you're trying to fight Yama for this Radiant Oath Plate. Kinda ridiculous. But then Kandrin is defeat a demonic gorilla, defeat a mithril dragon, defeat the Kraken 50 times, equip a Trident of the Seas, equip some Zenite jewelry, equip an Abyssal Tentacle, equip an Occult Necklace. Those are all, like, so doable, so doable. Kraken kill him 50 times? That's easy. You can do that in one run. You can just go up to his lair and fight him 50 times without leaving. No problem. Una. Sure. And then Fremenic, defeat a cockatrice, easy. Kill 8 penguins within 5 seconds, easy. Defeat Phantom Muspa, easy. Defeat a Basilisk Knight, easy. Defeat Awakened Duke Succulus, a bit more difficult. That's more melee focused boss. He's very resistant to ranged and magic, so that's gonna be a bit annoying specifically for my build types. Defeat Forecath 5 times without special damage, easy. Equip the Mage's Ring, that's just RNG with the Duke. So yeah, totally doable. Asgarnia, defeat a troll in Asgarnia, easy. Defeat the Royal Titans solo. To be fair, I've never fought the Royal Titans yet, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be too terribly difficult once I'm getting super powered with all my like relics and packs and stuff. Equip a Dragon Defender. That's so easy. That only takes time. It's just gonna take a while to get access to the guild, to then build up those Warrior Guild points, and then kill hill giants until you get the defenders. So it's really just a time gate there. Defeat the Awakened Whisperer. Again, I've never fought the Awakened Whisperer before, but should be doable. Equip a God Sword. That's RNG. Equip the Bellator Ring. Again, RNG with the Whisperer. And then defeat Nex solo, which, again, I've never done that before, but it should be doable. Especially once we get built up our combat stuff with the packs and all that. Then we've got the Global and Varlamore stuff. So Varlamore is a bit more annoying. You've got get one Huikurul kill. That should be easy. I've done that before. Shouldn't have any trouble with that. I mean, we're gonna have to get a bit of combat stats and combat equipment before we do it, but totally doable. Complete Wave 12 of Fortis Coliseum. That's I've never done that before. I've never even reached Wave 12 before. That's for if you didn't know, that's where you fight the final fight against what's his name in that Fortis Coliseum. It's a very, very, very difficult fight, and even getting there is very, very difficult. Then there's defeat Awakened Vardorvis. Another thing that I've not done. It sounds like it's gonna be pretty difficult, but hopefully doable. And then equip Avernic Treads, which means a lot of Doom of Makaliadal. That's an RNG thing there. But also doable, right? It's RNG. Now, global, complete the League's tutorial and open the League's menu. That's your free 2 points to get you started. Then there's defeat a hill giant, easy. Reach combat level 50, matter of time. Use the protect from melee prayer, matter of time. And then you get into your standard things of kill 1 unique Echo Boss, kill 2 unique Echo Bosses, kill 3 unique Echo Bosses, kill 4 unique Echo Bosses. Hang on. Don't double cast. It'd be a waste of... You don't have much mana left, but so we're gonna be going to the save point right now. Just kill him. So, in order to get those points and those resets, you only have to kill each Echo Boss once. And then you get those points and you can put those into your tree to power up. So that's also not too bad, totally doable. That's kind of where we're at with that stuff. So, the demonic pacts seems, after talking through this here, kind of made up my mind, because I've been hemming and hawing for like the past week, going like, oh, this crossbow build seems really good, and I think I've got that pretty well set in stone and how I'm gonna build it. And then I was looking at the mage build and I was like, ugh, the sustainability. Originally I was looking at mage thorns, because again I'm really liking the idea of the thorns build. But then when I found out how the actual power of the mage build kind of relies on having both of those mage items from Thermi, having the staff and the Devil's Element, which means you won't be equipping a shield because you're going to have that Devil's Element. Because the Devil's Element, it increases your opponent's elemental weakness by 30%. If they had 0 elemental weakness, they now have 30% elemental weakness. If they had 30 or 40 or 50% elemental weakness, they bump that up by 30%. Right? If they had 30, it's now 60. If they had 40, it's now 70. If they had 50, it's now 80. If they had 60, it's now 90%. It's really powerful. And then the staff also, there's like, it's weirdly worded, kind of understandably, but the staff uses whatever element your foe is weakest to, no matter what spell you're actually casting. And the way that seems to work is, let's say you're fighting Thermi, who's weak to air, and you're casting Water Surge. It's going to do damage as though you're casting Wind Surge. But you're still going to be casting Water Surge, which means you're going to get the healing from casting Water Surge when your water runes get regenerated. So you're getting the benefits of dealing extra damage and having higher accuracy with your water spell, even though you're casting a water spell. So you're gonna get the benefits as though you were casting an air spell, which he's really weak to. And again, since he's weak to air spell, and then you've got the Devil's Element that's gonna increase that even more. Of course, if you've got both the Devil's Element and the staff, then you're not fighting Thermi anymore. You're done fighting Thermi at that point. But the point is, whatever you're fighting, if it's weak to an element, it doesn't matter what actual spell you're casting. You're gonna get that weakness bonus. Please stay alive, Lauren. Don't blast punch him. Okay. He needs to armor break. I mean, he doesn't need to, but it's nice. I'll just double cast fires. Now, having said all of that about the League, there's still one more thing that I haven't talked about, which is the relics that I've decided on. There's still... Give me level 3! Level 3 is all I want. Just one more. Just one more, and then we can move on, man. That's all I want. Just gimme. Whoops. Yuna. So relics. In tier 1, we've got 3 choices: Endless Harvest, Barbarian Gathering, and Abundance. They are all pretty powerful in their own right. Okay, we'll go through them. Endless Harvest has a toggleable effect. All resources gathered will be sent directly to your bank. So if you ever, for whatever reason, wanted to keep that item in your inventory because you needed to go use it somewhere in some way immediately, you could turn it off. But generally, everything's going to your bank, which is nice. You don't have to run to the bank with the full inventory of resources, right? It also can endlessly gather from fishing spots, trees, and mining rocks, even if they deplete after your initial interaction. So you're just sitting at the one rock. Like, normally, when you're mining, you mine a rock, you get the resource. Then you turn to the next rock, and you mine that rock till you get the resource. Then you turn to the next rock, and you mine that rock till you get the resource. And then you're waiting for your first rock to respawn. Or in the case of things like mithril, adamant, runite, which take forever to respawn, you're hopefully got more rocks to go through before you loop back around. Otherwise, you're world hopping to find another rock. However, with this relic, you don't have to worry about that. And trees, even if they get chopped down, you're still chopping that same tree. You can walk away for 30 minutes and you're still chopping that tree, or you're still mining at that rock. It's very AFK friendly. Very, very AFK friendly. Also, resources gathered from fishing, woodcutting, and mining are multiplied by 2. You're not getting 1 iron ore when you successfully mine that iron rock. You're getting 2. And they're going straight to your bank. Oops. And on top of all that, XP is granted for all additional resources gathered. So in past leagues, you'd usually get the extra resource, but you wouldn't get XP for that extra resource. But in this case, you do. You get that XP. You're not just getting more resources. You're getting the XP for those resources, which means you're essentially doubling the rate at which you get resources, which is pretty neat. It's a pretty good relic. Option 2, Barbarian Gathering. Set this up. Barbarian Gathering says it grants you the knapsack. Up to 3 different types of gathered items, wood, fish, metallic ore, and coal, can be placed in the knapsack, which has a total maximum capacity of 140. Arin, could you please stop dying? Or should I say, Mr. Defender Z, stop using Haymaker. It's annoying. So this knapsack, it's got a total maximum capacity of 140 of up to 3 different types of gathered items. So you could have oak logs in one slot and willow logs in another slot and then maple logs in a third slot. Right, up to a maximum of 140 amongst those 3 different, like you could have 30, 50, and then another 70. You know, 30 of one, 50 of another, and then 70 of the third. And that would max out your 140. Armor break. Yeah, you better miss. There's a toggleable effect. Dispose option will ask what to destroy, which means that you don't have, you know, if you're mining just to get the mining XP, you don't really care about the resources. Instead of having to drop, like click drop, click drop, click drop, click drop, an entire inventory of iron, and then continue mining, and then click drop, click drop, click drop, continue mining, you can just right click, destroy the entire stack of 140 iron that's in that knapsack, and it's just all gone in one click. Or 2 clicks, because I think you have to, you know, confirm, oh yeah, this is the thing that I want to destroy. But yeah, and then the knapsack can be retrieved from League's Tutor and Young Slayer Floss. Another thing about the Barbarian Gathering. I need a level 3. We could go one more. We can go one more fight. I need to heal. Arn, specifically. Another part about Barbarian Gathering, you don't just get the knapsack. You become capable of chopping wood, mining rocks, and fishing with your bare hands without requiring any tools or bait. You don't need food tools, you don't need bait for the fishing part. Your hands are equivalent to the crystal version of the respective tools where those exist. They are your hands are a crystal harpoon. Your hands are a crystal pickaxe. Your hands are a crystal hatchet or axe. I can't remember which they call it in old school. I think it's axe. Crystal axe. Okay. Your hands are the tools. You are punching trees in half. You are punching rocks until they explode with ore or coal. And whenever you gain fishing, woodcutting, or mining XP while gathering, you will also receive an additional 10% XP in both strength and agility, which means while you're gathering, you are also gaining strength XP. You are also gaining agility XP. Who cares about running laps around agility courses? You're getting agility XP from punching rocks. You're getting strength XP. It's pretty sick. That means that since I'm not going for a melee build, that could be my way of getting strength XP so I can get into the Warriors Guild. Right? And I don't have to actually swing a sword or dagger or whatever. Though I could still do that if I wanted. But that also means that I could focus more on training attack to be able to equip weapons, and then I'll just be getting the strength XP from my gathering, which would increase my max hit with melee. And on top of all that, because we're not done yet with Barbarian Gathering, on top of all that, when you fail to mine a rock, catch a fish, or chop a tree, you will have a separate 50% chance to succeed instead. So normally, you've got a certain percent chance to succeed based on your mining level, based on the tool you're using and what rock you're mining, or what, based on your skill level, the tool you're using, what kind of resource you're gathering. Obviously the easier or the lower tier resources are going to be easier to gather than the higher tier resources. Stop using Haymaker. There's all that calculation going into whether or not you succeed at gathering that resource in that action. But now, if you fail, that's fine. You've got a 50% chance to succeed anyway. It's just a coin toss. So you may have had like a 20% chance to succeed, but now you've effectively got a 20% chance and a 50% chance every time. So that helps a lot too, right? You're hasted. Good. Yeah, I need to armor break still, because Aaron got knocked down, annoyingly. Ow. You don't need to double cast. So yeah, there's all that for Barbarian Gathering. And then you have Abundance. It's got a toggleable effect that coins generated will be put into your inventory. Whether you're... Yes, level 3 key sphere. Whether you're killing enemies and they're dropping coins on the ground or whatever, the coins automatically go into your inventory. Right? All non-combat skills are permanently boosted by 10. That might sound like, okay, yeah, they're boosted by 10. I still have to get XP in those skills in order to do tasks and stuff. Sure, but that 10 boost is huge. It's really, really big. Partly because you're going to be able to do training methods earlier than anybody else because you're boosted by 10. So you're going to be able to do the better, more high-level training methods earlier than other people. Also, you're going to be able to complete tasks before other people. Because basically, every 7 levels, XP requirements double, essentially. So, like, at level 10, in order to get to level 10, you've gained a certain amount of XP. And then in order to get to level 17, you have to get that same amount of XP again. So you're not getting it. It's not, oh, this 10 levels takes this XP, and then the next 10 levels is going to take that same. No, it's the next 7 levels, right? To the point where at level 92, in order to get to level 99, you need to get the same amount of XP that got you to level 92. It takes about 7 million XP to get to level 92, and then it takes another about 7 million to get to level 99. Right? So that means that tasks that require you to do an action that would take level 90 in a skill, it would only take you level 80 to get to do that task. And those tasks tend to be worth like 200 points, or at least 80 points, right? Like building a demonic throne for construction, that's a task. It requires level 99 construction, but if you've got abundance, it only requires level 89, which saves you a ton of time not needing to get to that 99. Now, if you want to get the task that says get to level 99 construction, you'll still have to get to level 99 construction to complete that task, but you don't necessarily have to unless you're going for like completionist type stuff. If you're trying to complete the league, as it were. But it's a huge bonus right there. That's a huge boon for abundance. We're not done with abundance either. Every time you receive an XP drop, gain an additional 2 XP in the same skill. And that 2 XP, that's affected by the league passive XP multiplier. So right off the bat, that's times 5, which means that's 10 XP in that skill. Not a whole lot. It's really good early on. It'll get less and less useful the further along you go. It's just that early on, that 10 XP is worth more than it is later on. And of course, later on, like by the end, it'll be 16 XP. So it's not a whole lot, but again, every time you receive an XP drop, no matter how much that XP drop is, you're getting that set amount of XP on top. It's a nice little bonus. It's not huge, it's not game breaking, but it's nice. Then, on top of all that, for every XP gained, you gain twice as many coins. Those coins can either go to your bank or inventory if there is room, which can be toggled as well. So, every time you gain XP, you gain twice as much coins. If you gain 1,000 XP, that's 2,000 coins. As I stated, getting to level 99 takes like 13.5-ish million XP. So by the time you get a 99, you'll have 27 million 27 million coins from that. And that's not counting any money making you'll be doing along the way. So that's pretty big for money making, as well as it's really good early on, and it's pretty good late game for doing tasks. Abundance is pretty powerful. So of those three, personally, I'm thinking Barbarian Gathering. I think that is the best choice for my build, for my areas, and all that. Since I'm going to be streaming this, I'm not going to be worried too much about AFKing. Actually, let's test something. Because we've getting a lot of holy waters. What happens if I use holy water on them? It missed. It's just nothing. Okay, well, I'm out. So yeah, I think Barbarian Gathering. Diamond Hands to Zanaris with this one. Tier 2! Tier 2 has more.
So be it.
Really good stuff. Of course, relics are always really good. Generally. But tier 2, you've got 3 options. Hotfoot, Friendly Forager, and Woodsman. Man. Gotta double cast. Braga. Hotfoot, Friendly Forager, Woodsman. Hotfoot. There's a lot of stuff in these 3. All of them. They've got a lot of text. But Hotfoot Upon choosing the relic, you receive Searing Boots. Screw you, defender guy. Get back up. Actually, do I? I've got life. I should probably be using life. Hotfoot. When you choose the relic, you receive Searing Boots. While the Searing Boots are worn, you gain the following benefits. Agility experience is gained based on your agility level while you run. Caught fish are automatically cooked. Mined ore is automatically smelted. That is, in and of itself, pretty big. The agility XP is, at least in previous leagues, this kind of relic hasn't been huge. It's not great agility XP, especially because you're like getting an XP drop every 10 ticks or whatever, as long as you are running that whole time. So it's not huge. As far as that goes, but the fact that when you catch fish, they're automatically cooked. When you mine ore, it's automatically smelted into bars. That's pretty big. That means that it saves you a ton of time.
Farewell.
Processing those materials. Additionally, though, regardless of what footwear you're wearing, it's just as a passive effect of this relic. Wait a minute, am I crazy, or while I've been talking and stuff, did I get a level 3 key sphere earlier? We've got 3. We've got 3, okay. We should probably move on then. Sorry if I, Oh. How much strength is that? That's 4 points. We need one more! We need one more! I didn't know that there was one in Titus's section. And this is to get to Una. I don't think I'm gonna send Titus back into Una's area through here. I think his trail's gonna end here. If I wanted to go back to Una, I can just travel back into here, right? Yeah, I can travel back into here and continue through her area, but I don't think Titus is gonna go into Una's area anyway. So we do need one more. Alright, I'll continue regaling the tales of the relics. After we heal up. How much? Yeah, this is doing good. So, regardless of your footwear, as long as you pick this Hotfoot relic, picking up termites or a mark of grace from a course will automatically complete the lap, granting completion XP and 10,000 coins. That's pretty big. That's really pretty big, because that's going to save you a ton of time completing the agility courses, which is going to get you agility XP really quickly. So that's going to make up for the fact that the passive agility XP, it probably isn't going to be all that good. You're going to be able to do the active agility training a lot faster, and you're going to get paid to do it, which is pretty nice. Also, Marks of Grace will always have a 33% chance to spawn on all rooftop courses. Normally there's a certain percent chance depending on which course you're at, and also what your agility level is, and In the case of the Sears Village rooftop course, there's also some bonuses if you complete the Sears Village achievement tasks. But in this case, always a 33% chance. There's a 1/3 chance that you're gonna see one on a rooftop agility course, no matter what agility course you're on. That's pretty big, especially since, you know, picking one up immediately sends you to the end of the lap, even if you're only on step 2 of the lap, and you get a mark of grace, boom, the lap's complete. Go again. It's crazy. Also, completing a course grants 2 completion count and 25% bonus experience. So you're getting that completion experience, and then you're getting even more XP in agility because of this passive. And you have a 100% success rate on all actions for agility and cooking. You will never fail an agility obstacle. You will never burn any food, no matter what you're cooking. Now, of course, you're already cooking fish as soon as they're caught, which is nice. But if you are cooking any pies, or if you get fish as a drop from something else, then you can go and cook them without failing ever.
Farewell.
So that's nice. Also, you will receive double termites from the Colossal Worm Agility course on Zaya. Also, you will receive 10 times crystal shards from the Prifdinus Agility course. So if you're choosing Prif as one of your areas, that's pretty big. And the Searing Boots can be retrieved from the League Tutor in Yama's Lair if lost. Yes. Was it? Hold up. Yes! We're done! We're done here. Finally. Alright, I will send you over here, and then... form up. Riku. Let's go! I need more water. I've been talking so much. Save real quick. And I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm back. Here we go. Alright. I'll finish up these tier 2 railers while we're talking about them while we make our way through this little hallway. Finally, we've got the things that we want. Oh, and Titus... oh, he's not there yet, but he'll be using the level 3 key sphere once we get there. But, so that's Hotfoot. Friendly Forager. Upon choosing this relic, you will receive the Forager's Pouch. While this pouch is worn, let's can you sound these guys? While that pouch is worn, you will gain the following benefits. When you gather resources from... You son of a... Rude.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You get the following benefits. When you gather resources from woodcutting, fishing, mining, and hunter, the pouch will find and store a random grimy herb. This herb is limited to any which your herblore level, plus 25, can clean. This action also provides a small amount of herblore experience. This pouch will only find herbs it has room to store, but will always attempt to give you a herb you can receive. Just making sure nobody's hurt, yeah. This pouch will also function as a silk-lined herb sack and shares an inventory with it. In other words, it's got the same capacity as one, and you won't need to source a silk-lined herb sack as well. So it can store up to 100 of each of the grimy normal herbs instead of the 30 that the normal herb sack would hold. So that's pretty huge for herblore. Additionally, you gain the following perks to herblore. All items are processed at once. You process them all at the same time. Yellow. Go ahead and double cast Raga. I think they'll actually survive, but then we can kill them with our other buddies. So, following perks to herblore. All items are processed at once, meaning if you've got an inventory of, 14 herbs and 14 vials of water, you can combine those in one action instead of slowly slowly adding herbs to each vial one at a time. It's like, boom, 14 unfinished potions right there. And then you can load up 14, say, crushed unicorn horns, and then, boom, you've got 14 anti-poisons or super anti-poisons.
Oopsie!
Oopsie! Right. Then also, secondary ingredients have a 90% chance to not be consumed, and this stacks additively with other sources. So you've got a really good chance that those items, those secondary ingredients like the crushed unicorn horns, won't even get used up, which means you can use them again to create a different potion. And potentially use them again and again until you eventually roll that 10% chance to actually use up the item. Oh, and there's another save point right up here. Ah! I'm a steal your candles of life, and I'm a hit the bricks. So that's friendly forager. Oh, also one other thing. Potions created will have 4 doses instead of 3. So normally when you create a potion, it's a 3 dose. Unless you're wearing Amulet of Alchemy, I think it's called. In which case there's a chance that you'll get a 4 dose instead of a 3 dose. But in this case, you always create 4 doses instead of 3 doses. So that's an extra dose every time you create a potion. That equates to a lot in the long run. Just make sure we're safe. But then the third relic, the Woodsman relic. We'll talk about that after this guy.
No! Mother, no! I don't want you to become a babe!
There is no other way.
Seymour.
Use me and defeat sin. Only then will the people accept you.
I don't care about them! I need you, Mother! No one else!
I don't have much time left.
Hey, wasn't that...
Seymour?
Yeah, that was baby little Seymour. I mean, apparently his mother became a fate. I'm sure that was quite traumatizing for a child. I'll take your curtains, and then I'm hitting the bricks. I don't need to fight you anymore, and screw you. Maybe I will off-stream. Maybe. But right now, I'm taking a look at these dead ends. So, the third, Woodsman. Toggleable effects. Hunter traps harvest directly to your bank. Logs chopped will be automatically burned. So you can get fire making XP while you're chopping logs without having to actually stop and go burn all those logs. And since it's toggleable, you could keep the logs if you wanted to, you know, train fletching. Right? And then it's got passive effects. All items are processed at once while fletching. So speaking of fletching. Stackable fletching items are capped at 10 times the regular amount per action. As I recall, if you're taking, you know, a stack of arrow shafts and a stack of feathers, and you're feathering those arrow shafts, it feathers 10 at a time. In this case, it feathers 100 at a time. Much faster. And on top of the fact that if you're processing an entire inventory of logs, cutting them into unstrung bows, for instance, like 27 unstrung bows, you're processing the entire inventory all at once instead of one at a time. Also, chopped logs are automatically burned while woodcutting, granting full fire-making XP. This effect can be toggled above. Yeah, I don't know why they list that a second time. But yeah, chopped logs automatically burned, granting full fire-making XP. And there is a 100% success rate on all hunter actions. Every time you place down a trap, it's going to succeed. It's going to catch something. It's never going to fail and then you have to reset up the trap. Nah, it catches. Every time. Hunter traps attract animals faster, and they give double the loot and XP. You're getting double loot and XP from hunting. Hunter traps always drop a random herb seed or tree seed when harvested, which means you're getting more seeds for herbs and trees just from hunting. Hunter rumors, which is the hunter equivalent of Slayer tasks. Hunter rumors give double XP, and hunters' loot sacks will reward twice as much loot, which is like a reward from doing the hunter rumors. All loot from jarred implings will be doubled and noted. Additionally, they will no longer break upon opening, which means your impling jars, you can keep using them over and over and over. You don't need to go back and get more impling jars when they break. They'll never break. You can just keep cycling them. And all Quetzal whistles will not lose charges, which means you get one Quetzal whistle, and you can just use it forever to instantly teleport to a Quetzal nest, which is one of the methods of fast travel around Varlamore. What the? Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, Braska. You don't have to do this.
Thank you for your concern.
Fine, I said my piece.
Well, I haven't. Lord Braska, let us go back. I don't want to see you die.
You knew this was to happen, my friend.
Yes, but I cannot accept it.
Oren, I am honored that you care for me so. But I have come to kill grief itself. I will defeat sin and lift the veil of sorrow covering Spira. Please understand, Oren.
I've come to defeat grief itself. That's literally not what you've come to defeat, because when you die, people will grieve for you. You're not defeating grief. Do you understand how grief works? Right. Preemptive strike. I guess you can see how much we've grown. Not much, it seems. How magically defensive are they? Not that much. And now you're dead. I was really hoping for some, Phoenix Downs. Here's Riku's final special ability here in her section. It's Bribe. We'll find out what that does, I guess. More magic! More damage, yes! And there's a couple more magics in here. Ooh, that's sick. Leading up to Flare. Yeah. Getting real powerful. Oh, there they go. There goes our heroes. Watch them as they go. What's back here? Nothing? Why is that even... Whatever. But so, those are the 3 tier 2 relics. Hotfoot, Friendly Forager, Woodsman. Personally, I'm thinking Woodsman is the way to go. Really good fletching XP, plus fire making for any tasks that require that. Really good hunter as well, so that's going to pair really well with my ranged build. I'm going to be able to fletch my equipment. I'm going to be able to hunt for Chinchampas in Kandarin and use those as AoE attacks. I'm not going to be having any of the thrown weapon bonuses from pacts, but Chinchampas are still Chinchampas, you know. There's still that. So, yeah. Plus, you know, you get the loot thing from the Implings, and the Quetzal whistles don't lose charges. That's nice. Plus, hunter traps always drop random herb seeds or tree seeds when harvested. So I'm going to be getting those seeds. That's going to help with farming. That's going to help with herb lore a bit. You know, getting the resources needed. So those are the first 2 tiers. And we can talk more about those, the other relics, later.
Are the trials ahead?
Probably.
Probably.
Here too, huh? Give me a break. I was expecting, you know, parades and fireworks.
You can ask for them after I defeat Sin.
Yeah, you haven't defeated Sin yet. Why would there be parades and fireworks? But I think that's where I'm gonna have to end it for today. I know we spent most of the stream just grinding for level 3 key spheres, but we really needed those. We really needed those. The sphere grid, this darn sphere grid. Is there a... Just wondering if there's a way to... Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to really zoom out. There's just this angle. So that is just between Titus and Yuna, which I don't need to break through. Those are level 4s. There's 2 here between Yuna and Riku. Really, it's only... You only need to go through one or the other. I don't think that's really needed. There's also this level 3 that's on the way to full life. Okay, actually... Yuna's gonna need 2. Because I am... Oh man, that's also a lot of level 4s too, because... I'm gonna have to go through 1 level 4 to get into here, level 3, and then 2 more level 4s. That's 3 level 4s and 2 level 3s to get to full life. But I think once Yuna gets that, I need to get her over to Lulu somehow, I would think. Either that or... I don't know, if there is... I guess... Riku's a good option for agility, but really getting her over to Lulu quickly is the way to go. So once you get full life, I guess she could go back and make her way up here to break into Lulu's area. That way she could get more evasion, more magic, more MP, more defenses, a bit more HP. Not too much more, but that would be the main thing for Yuna, is being able to have more MP, more defenses, more evasion, more all that stuff. So that she doesn't get hit. So that she can stay alive to heal other people and buff other people and stuff. Yeah. But she's going to need, because full life sounds like it's going to be a full revive. They revive and have full health when they get back up instead of half health, like you do with life. And we don't have to go through all of this Riku section with Yuna. We could just cut through up here after we get full life. But that's going to require 2 level 3s and 3 level 4s. So that means I need 2 more level 3s, at least. So I'm gonna grind that off stream at some point. But that's another reason to end things here, so that I can actually go grind that. And again, sorry for spending most of this stream just talking about old school RuneScape, but to be fair, next stream is not going to be on Monday. I've got something else going on that day. So next stream is going to be Wednesday, which is the first day of Old School RuneScape Leagues. So that's going to be my stream game for a while. We're going to be playing that next Wednesday. We're going to be playing it next Saturday. And the following Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Basically for, well, that Saturday. Maybe not that Saturday. Yeah, I've got a lot going on that Saturday, so I might not be able to stream that one. But regardless, Leagues is going to be taking up a lot of my stream time for the foreseeable future because I'm excited. It's looking like a really fun league with a lot to do and a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be a kind of a break from Final Fantasy X until the league starts to kind of slow down, and then I'll start hopping back and forth between leagues and Final Fantasy X. Not that I have anything against Final Fantasy X. It's been a good game. But Leagues is exciting and new and also a timed game mode. Like, it's only available for a couple months and then it's gone. So, I want to get in there. But, regardless, until next time, be kind to yourself, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next mission. Bye-bye.